Hi guys, I'm just going to go through the last few questions on the maths. I think they're the ones that you're probably going to need the most help with. So we'll start with question 6. So we've got Philip has 4 2/5 kilograms of potatoes. He has 2 3/4 kilograms of carrots. How much heavier are the potatoes than the carrots? Now, because this is fraction work, I'm going to keep it as fractions. You could convert it and subtract at the end. I'll show you that as well. So the first thing we're going to need to do is put these into common denominators. So you're going to have to times 5 by 4 to create 20ths, and 2 4s are 8. Because that's the larger fraction, we put it at the top here, because we're using that number line to calculate the difference. This one's going to get times by 5, so you're going to end up with 2 and 15 20ths. And then we're just going to count up. So we're going to have to bounce to the nearest whole, like so. 2 and 15 20ths, so that difference there is 5 20ths, bad 2, there you go. Then we can jump up to another whole one. So this bounce here is just 1. And then lastly, 4 to 4 and 8 20ths. Should be 8 20ths. Then we can put all our bounces together. We've got a nice whole one here. And then we've got 8 20ths and 5 20ths. 8 and 5, we can just add the numerators because the denominators are the same. 13 20ths. Now, this 13 20ths, I'm just going to show you how this would work if you did convert them, and if this were like a test. So that would be you times this by 5, times this by 5. That would be 65, which is 1,000. Be 6 like this, and then this one would be 1,000. So 1,650 grams. Number 7, what is the difference between A and B? Right, so they've given us two numbers quite high up the number system. Now we know that the difference between 99 and 1,001 is 2. Then if we find the midpoint, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to have to go 5 along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. So this number is 1,000 because I've halved my 2 here to know where the middle is. Now, if we then look from 1,000 to 1,001, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. So each of these little jumps here are all worth a fifth because we split 1 into 5. But if the problem we've really got here is this B is living right in the middle of these jumps. So we're going to have to know what half a jump is. So if we half a fifth, we get a tenth. So what we've got is if we go from A to B, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths, which, if you want to go simplest form, is the same as a half. Right. In this addition pyramid, a number is the sum of the two numbers below it. Work out the value of the star. So the star's tucked right in the left bottom corner, so that means we're going to have to work almost everything out here to find out what it is. Now, the sum of two numbers means we're adding, but to undo that, it means we've got to take away. So in order to know what goes here, I'm going to have to do this, take away that. So 5.5 take away 2 2/3. So I'm going to have to convert into sixths here. So that's 5 3/6 here. And then the 2 2/3 is getting doubled. So that's 2 4/6 here. So up we go, up to the nearest whole. It's going to be 2 6ths, up to 4 is 1, up to 5 is another one, and then 3 6. So I've got 2 whole ones, and then I've got 2 6ths and 3 6ths, which makes 5 6ths. So in that little question mark here that I'm going to have to get rid of, oops, is 2 5 6ths. In order to find out the star, though, I'm going to have to find out what goes in this box. So I'm going to have to do this. So I'm just going to rub lots of this out to give myself a little bit more room. Off it goes. So 2 2/3 take away 1 9/10. So let's convert the fractions on the end of these whole numbers into 30ths. So it's going to be 20, 3 9s, 27. So this is what our number sentence looks like. Put the smallest one down here, like so. And then we can just go to the nearest whole, which is 2. So that's 3 30ths. And to get from 2 to 2 and 2 20, and 20 30ths is just going to be 20 30ths. Put the bounces together is 23 30ths. So in that goes. And then this one takes a lot of time, doesn't it? The next one, finally, find out what this star's worth. We've got 2 5 6ths take away 23 30ths. Now, 6 times 30 would be 180, but then we're going to end up going really, really big. So we're lucky that 6 does go into 30, so I can leave 30 alone. That's going to go down here on our number line. And then let's turn the 6 into 30ths by times them by 5. 5 5s are 25. Pop that up here, and then we can go. So up to 1 would be 7 30ths. 1 to 2 is whole 1. 2 to 25 30ths is getting us all the way up there. So we've got a whole 1, and then we've got 7 30ths, add 25 30ths. Now this is going to tip us over into top heavy or improper. So that's going to add up to 32 30ths, which is 1 and 2 30ths. This whole 1 and this whole 1 can come together to make 2 and 2 30ths. And if you want to simplify, it'll be 2 and 1 15th. Lastly, right, the table shows the distance each child lives from the park. So we've got this table here. Then we've got a few children who are saying how far they are, but they're saying how far they are away compared to others. So Eva here says, I live 9/10 of a kilometre nearer to the park than Brett does. But you notice the table is the distance from the park. So her distance is going to be 9/10 less. Okay, so we need to find Brett. He lives 3 1/4 away. She lives 9/10. So that's what our number sentence looks like. Lowest common multiple would be 20. Over here would be 18. 20th, sorry, brain froze there. 3 and 5 20ths. Now you could go top heavy with this over here. You could just turn it into 65 20ths and then subtract the 18. That would also work. But in terms of how we've been doing it today, I'll just show you this method. So here, going to 1, it's going to be 2 20ths. 1 to 2 is 1, 2 to 3, 1, 3 to 5 20ths in there. So now we've got 1, 2, and then 2 20ths and 5 20ths makes 7 20ths, 27 20ths for Eva. Like so. Teddy says, I live 2 1/5 of a kilometre away. Sorry, I live 2 1/5 of a kilometre nearer to the park than Hewan does. So let's find Hewan. Hewan's here. So we're doing 4 1/10. Take away 2 1/5. We're lucky fifths can become tenths. So we actually end up having 4 1/10 here. 2 1/5 to become tenths is going to do that. So it's 2 and 2. Jump to 3. It's going to be 8. 3 to 4. Whole one. And then a tenth. So we've got a whole one here. 8 tenths. Add 1 tenth is 9 tenths. So in goes Teddy. 1 9 tenths. And then lastly, Annie here. So there's a couple of things here that make hers a little bit different. So she hasn't really represented her distance as a fraction. And we're relying on the fact that we've actually got Teddy's correct as well, because her distance is comparative to Teddy. So we're basically doing 1 9 tenths take away whatever this is as a fraction. So the easiest way of doing this would probably, a kilometre's out of 1,000. So she is 750 out of 1,000 away. And if we're going to turn 9 tenths into something, our 10 can turn into 1,000. So if I make this 10 times bigger, make this 10 times bigger, and then I can make 10 times bigger, 10 times bigger. And then I'm taking away this, like so. I mean, I could jump up like I've shown you, but most of you will be able to see that you simply can just take the numerators away from each other to be 1 and 1 and 150 over 1,000. If you want to simplify, you can. You could simplify down to here, like so. Then you could divide them both by 5. 1 and 3 20ths. Hope that helped you guys. I'll see you soon.